have a 15-minute arm workout for you today. 15 minutes is enough time to do a little workout and a great way to get started if you're new to a fitness routine and maybe struggling a little bit to try and find the time to do a workout. So I'm going to go through 4 different arm workouts that are going to work out the different muscles of your arms and your shoulders. So you will need a pair of dumbbells, ideally. If you don't have dumbbells, then you can use something like some cans from your cupboard. You can fill old milk bottles with sand. So there's a few different ways that you can improvise, but if you just watch this, have a look at the different movement patterns and the exercises that we're doing, and you'll find a way to improvise. Now, just one thing before we start. There has been a big growth in online training since COVID. So best practice for personal trainers like me is to make sure that you're aware that when you're watching these sessions, you're obviously not able to do that supervised by a trainer. So it's really important to know that you're undertaking any of these sessions at your own risk. If you have any medical conditions, then you should speak to a doctor, a healthcare practitioner, and get clearance to exercise first. And you should only exercise when you're feeling well. You should also make sure that you've got a nice space around you and you're not going to slip, trip, bang into things. So just take a second just to make sure that everything is fine. And we'll get started. So again, it's always important to warm up. So a warm-up routine can just be some light jogging, walking on the spot, star jumps, etc. And that's important just to get your muscles warm, get the blood flowing, sort of get your joints to be lubricated. But I'm just going to keep this to 15 minutes. Okay, so to start off with, I'm going to do an exercise that works out both your biceps and your shoulders. So a brilliant time-efficient exercise to build into a routine. Firstly, you want to bring your shoulders back, your chest is lifted, you're always drawing in your stomach to make sure that your spine is neutral and very well supported. You don't want to be sticking your backside out, putting pressure on your lower back, nor do you want to be overly tucked under and slightly rounding your back. So stand nice and tall, chest lifted, draw your stomach in, and we're going to hold our weights down by our side. And we're going to keep our elbows nice and tight into our body, and we're bringing our weights up and then pushing straight up overhead. And it's important to breathe all the time when you're doing these. And anyone with high or untreated blood pressure shouldn't do any weight exercises overhead. So we're doing 12 of these. So on 5 and 6. Stomach's tight all the time. So you've got nice smooth movements. 7 and 8 and 9. Stomach's tight all the time. Keep checking. 10, 11 and 12. Okay, fantastic. So that's our first exercise. Our second exercise is lateral raises. So really simple exercise. Your shoulders are rolled back, chest is lifted, stomach's drawn in again. You may need a lighter weight with these. You can also do these without a weight if your weights are too heavy for you. So you're simply going to bring the weight up with straight arms. You're holding a second at the top, and then you're coming down with control. So you're coming up, you don't have to go higher than your shoulder level, and then come down. So again, we're going to do 12. And that's 3, 4, always doing it nice and slow. 5, keep checking your stomach as you go through. 7, 8, find a nice steady breathing rhythm. 10, 11 and 12. Okay, so for my next 2 exercises, We're going to be on the floor, on a mat. So you'll need a weight. Again, you can improvise with a tin can, and we're going to be on all fours, okay? So in this position, you want to make sure your stomach's drawn in nice and tight. We're working our triceps. So to do that, we're going to pick up the weight and we're positioning it near our shoulder. Our elbow is nice and tight into our side, and then we are just extending the weight out, okay? So all you have to do is push back. So you have a straight arm, you're holding the weight there just for a second, and then coming back round with control. So we're going to do 12 of those, and then repeat on the other side. Okay, you always push down nice and firmly with this hand to give you good support. So when we're ready, we're going for 1, 2, 3, 4, you check that stomach, 5, 6, 7, so your arm is nice and tight in, nothing's moving apart from your elbow. 11 and 12, okay, and then we just simply swap arms, okay? So again, stomach's drawn in, your back's neutral, your back's flat, you're solidly supporting yourself with this hand here, and then we're coming up to shoulder, elbows in nice and tight, so it's not flaring outwards, and you're just bringing the weight back. So that's 1, 2, 3, pulling that stomach in to support you, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. Okay, now my last exercise is press-ups. So these are really good exercises. They work several muscles in your arms. Are also going to work your chest. They're also going to demand that your shoulders and your upper back are stable. So a very good all-round exercise to build up. A beginner's level is a box press-up, which means you're going to be on all fours. You spread your hands out nice and wide, and really feel yourself using your hands and pushing into the mat. I like to think about having active hands or active wrists, so that your strength is coming up from each fingertip. And for these, you're going to bend at your hip by bringing your elbows out and then come into the floor. So what you want to make sure you avoid is coming down and having your head poke forward to get you down to the floor sooner. You're really thinking about keeping your head still, your neck doesn't change position, but it's your chest that you want to bring down towards the floor. You can open your hands a little bit wider to create more distance, and that's going to make it a little bit easier. Okay? Your stomach's pulled in nice and tight all the way through, and then when we're ready, we're going to go down, we're going to do 12 altogether. So you're pushing down with your chest, stomach's nice and tight, pushing up through all of your fingers. And 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, 6, pull that stomach in nice and tight, 7, 8, 9, 10, 2 more, 11, and 12. Okay, so you can repeat those exercises either another time for each exercise, so you do the whole sequence twice, or you can do it 3 times. Just choose which one is best for you based on what your level is and also how much time you've got. And then some simple stretches when you're finished at the end are to just very simply bring your shoulders down and back, and then you're just going to open out your chest by drawing your hands back, drawing your elbows back. You're going to feel your shoulder blades pull together, and you're opening out the chest and what are very often very tight muscles, and you're going to hold that for about 15 to 30 seconds. You can do these exercises standing up, kneeling down like I am, or you could simply be sat on a chair. And then we're going to stretch our triceps. We're going to pull our hands behind our neck, draw up your elbow, and then you just feeling a nice stretch, pulling out the front of the triceps. And again, you'll hold that for between 15 and 30 seconds, and then you just swap over to do the other one. And then finally, to stretch our biceps, we're going to just bring our shoulders down and back again, and we're reaching out behind us with our hands stretched wide, our fingers stretched open, and you're just pulling your arms away from your body behind you. And that's going to give you a nice stretch into your shoulders, into your biceps, and also another stretch into your chest. And again, you can hold that for 15 to 30 seconds. So that is a nice quick 15-minute arm workout. Alright, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.